Hello, everyone. This is Sophie and Chrissy from Footprint Tarot. Welcome,
Hello.
Chrissy.
Hello. Thank you, Sophie, for sending me the invite. It's lovely that we can get together and have
Yes.
a chat and do a bit of reading and stuff.
Yes.
And yeah, you'd be surprised. The word will get around that we're
Okay.
on live.
So, well,
Mhm.
these are not going to be personal reading, guys. These are the personal readings I do only on Sundays. So, and I don't think you do any personal reading lives either. Do you, Chrissy?
No, I don't.
No.
No. I do personal readings, but yeah, I do charge for those
Yeah.
and stuff. There's
But you're a very, very good
well, thank
reader.
you.
I'm really I'm with a pro here, guys.
Oh, thank you.
So,
For a long time, I had to be persuaded to let people donate to me, but eventually I did, and and I do charge for personal readings too.
yeah.
I had even before I was doing the live streams, I would do the occasional reading for friends and all that. But yeah. Here's Cameo. Hello, Bubba girl. You going to show your pretty face today?
Hey, do you want to go? Do you want to see Bebe? Oh, I wonder what she would do if she was to see the bird.
You watch, sweetheart. Look.
Hey,
look.
Do you want a Tweety bird?
Look at the birdie. Look, Cameo, birdie. She's not interested. Hello, birdie.
She says, "I'm smarter than that." Come on, guys.
You are not getting coffee. It took me 2 years to get you off your coffee habit. Now, come on.
Mine just started. He took a bath into my coffee mug yesterday. That was very pretty. So, do you guys have any questions for us? We're going to do pretty much things on the news and social readings, political readings, and things like that.
Just calling occupants.
Do we want to start with maybe looking at what's happening with... well, let's start with the light one that we talked about MTJ wanting to join the January 6th.
Yeah, I did a reading. Yeah, we'll have another look at that.
That's funny.
It is, yeah. Will it happen? Let's have a look at will that happen? She was stripped of all her other committee appointments after her Parkland antics. And,
yeah.
So it's quite... Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Well, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I've got the Seven of Swords, which is she definitely has an agenda going into it. But the Queen of Swords is actually being called up to answer for your actions, at least for me. And then we've got the Five of Wands. So it's she would be really grilled before being appointed to it. But her intentions are basically just to disrupt it and to try and stop things happening. Will she get on it? I don't think so. Undermine it. She's undermining it. I don't have reversals in this deck, but I feel like it should be reversed. So her aim is to undermine it. Talking with a few other people who might try and want to get on it too, and to stop the truth coming out. Will she get on it? No, I don't think so. There's huge momentum against that. No, she's not going to get on it. I've got the Chariot, momentum and victory, and the Six of Wands is victory. But the Six of Wands and is on top of the Truth card, the Truth coming out. So victory is going to come out. I don't think she'll get on it. I do feel there's a momentum even within the party against putting her on it. So there's a group of 3 people, I think, who are really going to be instrumental in deciding who gets on but I don't think it's going to be her. I'd be really surprised. And if she did, I could not see her lasting long. She'll be removed pretty damn quick, even if she did get on it.
Yeah, that's what I get too. I have the Seven of Wands. She's trying to take the high road to lately. I think you've seen that also in the news where she's trying to look grown up a little bit. But it's there are things that she's not doing or looking at. And there's going to be something offered to her maybe to get her out of that, of wanting to get into that that committee. Because at the head of the reading, I get the Three of Swords. So she's going to be poop out of luck. And at the base of the reading, I get the Emperor, where it's really rigid. And they're going to be very strict with her if she was to ever get on it. But I get the Pope reverse, and I rarely read reverse cards on this deck. I have a feeling that something is going to fall on her. Something that is from the government. There's some investigation about her, and she is in a state of she's projecting she's trying to project something that does not exist with the Moon card. She's trying to put herself as being, like I said before, maturing as a politician, but she is not. So I don't think she's going to get on it too.
No, she won't. No. I'm just bringing up something on the other screen here. I might do a quick reading on her for her future, if you like, and what that holds, because I was just looking at it with regard to the committee, the investigative committee.
Okay. On her future.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, there's lots of familiar names there. Melinda Dutcher, Sharon Sykes, Debbie Fitzsimmons. I just brought you up on I watch everything on another YouTube account. I don't post on it. It's just I watch everything, and
okay.
Subscribe on that as well as on this one. So
I forgot to bring my tablet to look at the. Yeah. We have Cynthia. Here. Hi, Cynthia, Melinda, Debbie,
JR.
Sharon, hi. You keep following me around, Sharon. I'm taking it personally now. Just teasing.
Loves and hugs. So I'm going to do a 6-card spread on Marjorie Taylor Greene for her future.
Yeah.
We'll see what that tells us. Sometimes okay. She was riding on 45 coattails, and now she's having to stand alone. I was just saying to Sophie earlier, before we went live, that you can tell when a Republican politician is really scared because they actually start to try doing their job. The past and the influences. She came out with so much so quickly that she can't dodge all of the things she fired out there. They're coming at her so quickly. It's like they've hit this big reflective dome and they're just coming back at her from everywhere now. All these things she sent out. The obstacles she's got in her path. We've got the Six of Swords, which she's trying to fly clear of Trump, but she's not going to be able to. She's trying to get out of the troubled Trump waters, but she's got herself too deeply entrenched. She's not going to be able to.
Yeah.
Knight of Cups. This is influences working in her favour.
Yeah, I got the Nine of Cups too.
Nine of Cups. You might get an offer. If you behave, we'll put you back on a couple of committees, but you've got to settle down and show some maturity.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, she's really finding herself with a lot of days with nothing to do. And, yeah, she can't justify being in office if she's not doing anything.
I get the, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. The near future, it's going to be dominated by the emperor, by Trump. No matter where she goes, she's still not going to be able to get away from Trump.
Okay.
Longer term future, oh my goodness, it's pay the devil his due. She's going to be repeating mistakes over and over and over and over and over in her long term future, and really, it's all going to come back and bite her on the butt, really big. She can't get away from it. She attached herself to this devil, and he's going to consume her, basically, and consume her political career. In the longer term, the eventual outcome, a change that she has no control over and cannot reverse. It doesn't mean, it just means that it's a unavoidable and irreversible change that's going to happen in her life. Confusion, Seven of Cups, gaslighting, and deals, all those quid pro quos, all of that stuff, gaslighting and everything is going to come out.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty much the same thing for me, because I get she's in dispute with her political party with the 10 of Pentacles, and she's planning something. I don't know what it is, but she's planning something. And like we say in French Canadian, it ain't Catholic.
It's not Catholic.
No, she's. But I have the feeling that she is disappointed in her political career. It's not what she thought it would be. She's very disappointed with that, because she has a lot of limitation, like you said, and she's going to be admitting defeat. She's going to give up and admit defeat, and then there's the Justice card that's going to come and say hello.
Yeah.
And she's stuck in the past. She's bored. She's bored.
Yeah. She thought it would be so exciting and everything.
Yeah.
She could do or say anything. And yes, she was very busy and really caught up in the excitement of all the committee she was on. And then to do it, got tossed off them.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what am I going to do? What do I do? I can't do anything. And it's like, and also the long stretches of not having anything to do, where you go home and you've got to, and we you know, in between sittings where you've got to go home, and she thought she could just go home, sit on the porch and drink, probably with her unsweetened tea, which is a real insult to Southern ladies. Your tea is unsweetened.
Yeah. No, it's not.
She gets home. Yeah, she gets home. She gets. People want to talk to her in her office. People want to come and see her. They have concerns. They want her to address and this and that. And she didn't think about any of that. She doesn't like people enough to want to do that properly.
No. Yeah. I get that she's manipulative with the Queen of Cups reversed, and yeah, she's going to be out of office in 2022, right? She has to.
She won't get back in, and I don't know if she'll even make it to the elections at this stage.
No, exactly. Exactly.
Yep. And people are like, what are you doing traveling around the country espousing Trump? You should be here working for us, listening to us, and talking to us. You know, that... there's a lot of dissatisfaction, I think.
Yeah.
Her.
Hello,
what
Flora. What about McCarthy in the next couple of months? Is he ever going to be affected? I never read on McCarthy. You probably have done it, but well, I'm sure you've done it. But what's going to happen to him over the next couple of months during the summer break?
I did a reading on him on Thursday.
Oh, okay. Well,
but it's more of a general reading. But why don't you give some cards to him, and I'll have a look and see if he's going to be replaced. So
yeah. That's a good question. Will he be replaced as a minority leader?
It'd have to be a vote of no confidence in him. And I do feel like they're working behind the scenes to do that. So I asked this question the other day, but I'll ask it again. God, the highest truth. Hi, Sharon Sive. Cynthia Urbari, hello. I'm a constant helloer.
I'm in my bubble.
I love saying hello, and also acknowledging the people who aren't in the chat but who are watching as well. I do.
Yes, hello to you as well. Thank you for joining us at the last moment like that.
And I just really appreciate everyone who takes the time to watch me or any other reader.
We wouldn't have a channel without you guys. Hey, Jima.
Wow, let's see.
I got Trump, and his heart is broken by Trump. He's operating on self-pity. The guy is just, he's just waiting to be kicked out, and he's going to be kicked out, I think, by the end of the summer. I'm pretty sure.
By the end of the summer. Wow.
But I did ask by the end of the summer, so that's why I say by the end of the summer. Don't take the timing to, it's tarot. But he's a very cold-hearted man, and he's very disappointing people and disappointed as well with what happened with Trump. And to him, he's like in a self-pity mode. He's just waiting to be sacrificed, and with the hangman.
He feels like he's pushed under the bus. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it wants to survive, the Republican Party are going to have to throw some people under the bus, and he is probably going to be one of them. There's some more stuff coming out about him that is hidden.
Yeah.
This is a retirement card, and this is strategies not working in the past and trying to sneak away and not face the consequences of what your actions in the past were. That was the first three cards. And then I've got the Queen of Wands, which I feel like this might be Liz Cheney coming back with a vengeance. And renewal of leadership. The little lizard there is renewal. So renewal of leadership within the House Republican.
2 wands.
Two wands and investigation as well going on behind. More compassionate, steady, and stronger leadership. There's this group of three again. Now, the three of Pentacles came up with Marjorie Taylor Greene, or people working to stop. This is a group of three that are really behind the scenes, and they're working. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. I think this is. It isn't working to influence the RNC, which holds a lot of funding for people.
Right.
So we've got heartbreak for him.
Yeah.
Something to do with funding, which could be people withholding funds for his election. And we've got judgment. So there is a possibility that he's going to get turfed out. Vote of no confidence, if not out of the party, at least out of his role as minority leader, back into the background.
That's what I think, as a minority leader, absolutely.
Yeah. I do feel like there's this groundswell of movement too. I felt it for a long time within just a lot of Republicans, just out there, grassroots Republicans who work and put their faith in their representatives to do the work, and they're growing increasingly unhappy. Mm-hmm. It's coming out in the lesser numbers at Trump's rallies. It's coming out in other ways too. So, and I do believe that's going to have an effect, but it's not going to be an overnight change. But I do believe it is starting to have an effect. Messages are starting to get through to some representatives. Not federal level at the moment, but there's also got to be a groundswell at the state level. They've also got to hold state. At the moment, they're holding the federal representatives to a different bar than the state ones.
Yes.
And they've both been held at the same level.
That's right.
They're letting the state ones get away with stuff that they're not necessarily happy about.
Yeah.
The federal ones getting away with. So
Hi, Michelle, Mabel, and Sherry-Ann. Thank you for joining us. I wonder, there are some good Republicans.
Oh, yeah.
There are some Republicans that are fighting against the Trumpists. So I'm thinking about Kinzinger and Cheney. Is there anyone else? There are others. I'm just wondering, what is their fate going to be like for them? Can we take? Have you read on Kinzinger lately? I haven't.
I haven't read on him for quite a while. He's the sort of person they need there. Putting aside all differences in policy and all that, if you just look at the quality of leadership that is required, and they need him, and they need Cheney.
They do.
You just put aside all of their policy decisions and the fact that they're Republicans, and just look at their core backbone and the way in which they handle themselves.
Yeah.
And, and what they do or don't vote for. They're the sort of people that are needed in that party. So Kinzinger, let's have a look at Kinzinger.
Yeah, Kinzinger. So what's going to happen is he going to be a minority leader, do you think?
I don't know. I hadn't thought about that. But Kinzinger, it's interesting. The first card I got for him, and it's in a position called the past and the influence it still has on him. If you got the Ten of Swords, Kinzinger he is a service veteran. I can't quite remember which one he is. He saw a lot of he saw a lot of pain and suffering and a lot of people dying, and possibly even feels like being in the Air Force, he might have even pressed a button on a plane that caused people to die, setting off a missile and things like that. I don't know what he did, but he feels that. And he feels that, he knows he did it in the service of his country, but he still feels that, I think maybe one of the reasons he's put himself up for political office is to help America get to a place where people don't have to feel what he feels. It still affects him very much. What's in his way? Apathy within the party. That's a big challenge for him. People are just they'd rather just go along with the flow than stand up and do the right thing. And he's trying to beat that and to actually get over the top of that. He has faith and belief in what he feels is the right thing to do.
Oh.
And even if it means, yeah. And
we're even using the same deck.
Yeah. Yep. That's not spooky. Even if it means that he has to go against the general flow, he will do it and he will speak up. He has faith and belief that in speaking up, you can affect change.
Yes.
And this person is walking off the cliff with faith that, you know, they will be heard or seen.
Yeah.
That's working for him. The near future for him. There it is again. The 3 of Pentacles. Group work, working with some others in close consultation. Definitely part of that group. Definitely a part of that group that want to affect change within the party, long-term future. He's going to make some mistakes, and there might be a few. He might. Yeah. Oh my goodness, you got that too.
Yes,
Mistakes
I did.
affecting, but also I think maybe some haunting. So I think maybe he suffers from PTSD, and it's something that he continually is going to have
to deal with.
Things get to be ugly. People might throw things at him and stuff, accusations and things like that, and he's going to have to deal with all that. And what he feels is mistakes in his past and things like that, and even missteps when you're when you first start out, people are going to try and drag all that up.
Yes.
Long-term future for him. Oh, I wish it was better, but I see a bit of heartbreak and betrayal here. I do feel that at the moment I don't see him being leader, being a minority leader.
No.
I'm hoping that's wrong. Heartbreak, betrayal, disruption, and more conflict and debate. So, but that could just mean he's not put in the leadership position he wants. Disappointment, but he possibly offered something else. But debate, yeah, having to debate a lot. He's got a lot of ghosts to deal with and stuff, but he's definitely going to be integral in some shake-up that's going to happen. But I don't know. I think that heartbreak might be just not getting what position he wants in leadership roles. But I do feel he could be the whip. What do they call it? The chief whip?
He could. He's a deputy whip. Well, I don't know if he's still a deputy whip, but he was at one point.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And that could be getting back something he lost. So he could be, I don't think he'll be the minority leader. But.
No. I don't even know if he'll be reelected. I'm hoping so, but
yeah.
I see here he's at a crossroad.
Yeah.
He's giving a lot of himself, but there's also a lot being taken away from him. And I think that there's also, it is Pentacles, and I do believe that there is money involved here. He has the America First website where he's getting donations.
Okay.
So, and he's giving it back to people running against bad Republicans in primaries.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Fool and the Devil together. And I, like you, I believe he has old ghosts to slay. He has to face a few things here. He has to face himself too, because I think that there are things within him that he has to face. I think he is the Fool right now. He is in a Fool position where he took a chance to try to take the Republican Party into another direction than what it's in right now.
Yeah.
In the past, he was a very lucky person in the sense that he was able to have a lot of influence on people. He was able to get he had a lot of influence on people. He still does, but it's kind of going away now. Right now, he's viewed like the spy in the camp. I feel. I know it's
Yeah.
usually the sword, but to me, it's the fish tells me that you're like communicating with someone else on the covers type of thing. So he's viewed as
Yep.
something like that. He is alone right now. He is alone. He has to face, like I said, his own demon that was under the fool. So, he's being viewed as a lone fool, but he's a courageous one. He wants to, like he says, he looks within. He wants to be able to look at himself in the mirror. And, I have here the Hierophant, the Republican Party. He's alone within the Republican Party. He's alone within the group. He's there standing up for Cheney, but I don't see her standing up for him. I don't see that. He's afraid of the judgment of people. In spite of doing the courageous thing, he's afraid of the judgment of people. He really is. And I end with the Queen of Sword. And I think... Hey, Mommy, that's your card. Yeah, it is. Go back. And with the Queen of Swords, it's... I lost my train of thought. Justice, judgment and justice together.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I think he might have had some run with the law in the past, in his college days. So, yes. Hi, Ron. Nasty Women Tarot. Whoa.
Hi, Nasty Women.
What embarrassing with our pet talk.
That's my hubby. Bell, yes, he's here.
Lucky you.
Jumping up and down with excitement. Yeah. He's like, just sometimes I'll get up and if I don't want to disturb him but I think we've gotten so used to it is that like he'll come out just hit the hour mark after I start and he'll just come out automatically sometimes. I'll just say, excuse me, I'm going to make a coffee and stuff. He's my personal barista.
Oh, lucky you. You're lucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he did run.
The bird did the same thing on the live that you did with.
Yeah, on Saturday evening, I was on a live with Ron, and the bird just showed up.
Sat on the card.
Yeah.
Somebody, by the way, look at show everyone your pretty face. Show everyone your pretty face.
Some people have little kitties. Some people have little doggies. I have a birdie.
We had birds where we when we were in a unit we couldn't have a dog or a cat, so we got some birds, and geez, they were a joy and a delight. And no idea the what were they? Budgies were so noisy. They were so noisy. Yes, Michelle Mabel, your internet boyfriend is here. It's very hard to get over to the US. So he's mine. That's our woman.
I was in the US, you want to rent me out or something.
Oh, James.
What did you say? I didn't hear.
Saying that if we were in the US that you'd want to rent me out or something. I don't think so. Not for that.
Totally
They
taken.
just want your voice and your coffee making abilities. That's all.
Yeah.
What?
Totally taken.
There's going to be a fight. No, I would never fight over him.
Oh.
No,
Hi, Cheryl.
I would never fight over him. It would never get to that. I'd have all the booby traps made sure they all went off before we go anywhere near him, and I had to do that. Darling. Well, I could clone you, I suppose.
Stop talking like that.
He's not perfect, ladies. He's not
Yeah,
perfect.
but he's near perfect, isn't he? No. Working on him still, huh?
Oh, God.
I work on the fact that people change when they feel they need to and have to. It has to in a lot of things, but he's not got that yet. I'm still trying.
Okay.
No, he's pretty cool. He's pretty cool.
I'm house trained.
He's house trained. Yeah, you are. Since when?
Yeah.
Since when have you been house trained?
You've been house trained. Hi, Carl.
Look, putting the lid down on the toilet is not house trained, okay?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Perfect husband.
Getting the courtesy sprays right is house trained, and you haven't gotten there yet.
We're going places people don't want to go now. Honestly, people do not want that. I'm out of here.
Nasty woman tarot.
Oh,
Your hubby
yes.
is safe with me, she said. Nasty woman, is that you, Sharon Lee? Because Sharon Lee drives a motorbike. She rides a motorbike. Oh yeah, he's interested. You're in, Sharon Lee. You're in. You ride a motorbike. Oh yeah, that's Perky's interest. Okay. Okay, now we'll just leave my hubby alone so he can stop.
I'm so out of here. I'm not.
Does he have his own channel?
He's incredibly camera shy. The only thing people have ever seen of him is a shot of his arm, his forearm, and one day when he was trying not to get on camera, he covered himself with a quilt,
Yeah.
and it was
I've seen that.
floated through the background like some gigantic scuba ghost. And it was just so funny. It was hilarious. So you could see him covered in this quilt. And
Run away.
oh, no, you don't have to run away, darling.
I should be quiet.
Yeah. No, he doesn't need a channel.
Oh, definitely.
Oh,
Did
yeah,
you
Sharon.
Not as beautiful as 6 days.
I forgot Sharon, yeah.
He needs a channel.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What I don't think
The
about
quilted tarot. Yeah, he could be the quilted tarot.
yeah, but Sharon Lee, yeah, he can, yeah, you can ride bitch on her motorcycle. That's what she said. Yes, that's what she said. I don't think about who they made or
Sorry.
orientation they made. I just don't think about it. So I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. That course he's running away now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
guys, we do take questions if you have any, not personal questions, but any questions you have.
That's going to
But
save my
not personal. Leave Chrissy's husband alone. He wants to enjoy his privacy.
He doesn't mind saying hello occasionally and all that, but he just prefers to keep it for that.
Yeah.
Honestly, if he had his own channel, was used by this country in this year. And the interesting thing about the undercarriage and the bolt in the undercarriage of this plane is
but he's always part of the live stream anyway, because we hear him in the background. We see him bring coffee. There wasn't whipped cream on the coffee this time.
Oh, you put cream in the coffee. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I thought whipped cream.
Oh, whipped cream. No, that's what I call the frothy coffee, which is a sachet cappuccinos. He puts whipped cream on it for me there.
And a sprinkle of chocolate.
Yeah, speaking of coffee, what are we going to do about that? Because I'm down to my last box and you don't have any of the decaf. We're in lockdown, so we want to avoid shops as much as possible. But the place we get our coffee is from. Yeah, what about you? We don't want to go to shop.
I'm glad, Carl, that you started meditating today. That's a good thing. Good thing.
Quilted soft paper. Oh, we made sure we had heaps of toilet paper. Like, we don't need to go and raid anyone and fight anyone for toilet paper. We just,
How did that toilet paper thing start? Is that the reader that brought it up?
No idea.
Psychic Victoria brought it up, and
it was just like suddenly, for some reason, toilet paper that we're going to be stuck for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Oh my God. Maybe it's just that people realise, I mean, there's just the two of us. And maybe it's just like people with families with like 3 or 4 kids, kids go through toilet paper. They do. And it's like, oh my God, we better get toilet paper in, otherwise, it's just going to be a huge mess. And because they go to, maybe it's just because they knew how much toilet paper their family went through.
Maybe. But it was all over the world, I think, that people were running out of toilet paper.
Yeah. So,
do you guys have any questions for us?
Yeah.
No personal questions.
No.
Yeah. We have Canada Day on July 1st, and we have Independence Day on July 4th. When is Australia Day?
Australia Day is January 26th.
Okay.
That's our wedding anniversary. Got married on Australia Day.
Oh, cool.
All about Australia Day. It has been for a few years, and it's currently our national day. It didn't actually start till 1920s, and honestly, it's supposed to commemorate when we landed, and it wasn't January. It was a completely different date. But honestly, I'd be okay to me, the real national day to me is Anzac Day, because it's a commemoration of all who have served and we've lost in defence of our country and stuff. And it celebrates every aspect of Australians, immigrants, people born here, First Nations, as they're started to be called, Aboriginal Torres Strait Islanders. There's several regiments of those people who fought in wars as well. So all of them did service. And I think if we should be celebrated as a nation, it should be in that, not the fact that, to me, we landed. I mean, if we get a holiday, that's about it.
Yeah.
And
okay.
All things Australian is like, all things Australian is multicultural, because we had, we came, so we were the immigrants, but we also brought people from not just English, but other people as well very early on. So I think maybe we should have a multicultural day or something. I don't know.
That's a good idea. For Canada Day, it's more the union. I'm sorry, Cheryl. It's more the union of the country that came together.
Yeah. We used to have Federation Day, which was the date that the states came together to form federation.
Yeah.
Why not go back to that? why not go back to that when we've federated as a country, when all the states came together and the territories came together to be a country? I'd rather have Federation Day.
Yeah.
So, because it's, about being formed.
Yeah.
But
So,
and if that
I wonder,
Australian subscribers, I don't, I don't very often open up on things about that. So,
no, I know, I understand. I wonder, on Independence Day in the United States, are the states going to be united? Are they going to celebrate not only their independence, but also their union? We can hope for a miracle, can we? Instead of being divided, can we read on that?
Yeah.
Is the United States going to be united on Independence Day? Become more united like they were used to be. That'd be nice.
Yeah, like I said, we got Michelle Mabel was just saying that she's been married 7. You got married on June 19th, 17 years ago. So now, of course, it's Juneteenth now. So every anniversary is a holiday. Yeah, well, that's
cool.
Australia Day, and every anniversary is a holiday for us too. It was we were in a little unit on the top floor of some units facing the Swan River in Perth, with a fantastic view of the Australia Day fireworks. And we'd only been in Perth like a little bit over a month, about 6 weeks then. And James said, let's get married next Australia Day. We'll keep it small. We can have everyone here and we can watch the fireworks. So that's what we did. And I mean, this unit was tiny. It would fit into our lounge room area actually now.
Right.
And that's what we did. We had like 20 odd people there, and and it wasn't so much to commemorate the day, it was to take advantage of having something like the fireworks go off.
That's a good idea.
Fireworks a lot. So okay.
Hi, Cecile.
4th of July.
Well, right now, I see the 4 of Sword as being asleep on the switch, and Trump getting in the way of that peace. The United States always had everything to be successful, to make this nation a great nation, but then something happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, keep going.
I got the Ace of Pentacles. So that could be a renewal. That's at the head of the reading, with the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the reading. So there could be some kind of renewal, but it's more on a material level than anything else. Other than that, out in the cold with the Devil's card. But I think that people are going to face what they have to evaluate what they have to face in order to get united. Maybe people are going to start waking up a little bit, because more and more people are wishing for that foundation that they had to come back. But I don't see any miracles. I'm sorry. Do you see a miracle?
I see disruption.
Yeah.
And now I started out with the 8 of Coins, which is work, plan, focus. Often with the 8 of Coins, I treat it as a cautionary card. There's a few of them I have. And this is one, is that every card, most every 8 of Coins card I see with the person working, they're both so focused on the work and the detail that they're taking no notice of what's happening around them. and they're just not noticing any of the lurking danger or whatever. So I see details, planning. I've got the Magician as well, but I read it as different. The Magician can be a manifester. And, of course, Trump is still hoping to manifest the change that will see him back in the White House. So he's going to use it as an opportunity to try and manifest that, stir people up, thus the disruption. The Page of Pentacles is, when it's in reverse, it can represent a young person, a disruptive influence in young people, or just a disruptive influence generally. So we've got people working, making their little plans to help manifest what they want, which is Trump in power. They're willing to disrupt things. Now I've got the Death card here, which is, again, unavoidable and irreversible change.
Right.
This is their, now, they want to affect their change, but they can't. They're not going to be able to.
Right.
This could effectively put an end to, depending on what they do, put an end to large scale type action. But it's definitely there's definitely going to be a change after the weekend that, you know, it's something that people could see coming, but they couldn't stop, and it's not going to be reversed.
Okay.
But we've got overflowing emotion. I'm feeling lots of anger in some parts, and it's not the anger of the MAGA people; it's the anger of the country, of most of the country. And something
Trump.
coming out about funding of these things. Trump, yeah, no, and generally funding, people funding them. This is going to be a start of movement towards calmer waters, a start. Okay. People are, okay, calmer waters. Strategies have been put in place to deal with these sorts of things. Okay, so there might be some disruption, there might be some incidents, but what there might be is a lot less than what there would have been, because they've put strategies in place. False knights,
Yes.
in these organisations, it's purely, or plant undercover agents and things like that, and bless them and protect them, is what I say, because I do think a lot of the information and details that are going to come from these people is going to stop a lot of what could have happened. I do still see some disruption in some places, and yeah,
it's very unfortunate.
It's going to be a really tense 4th of July weekend. People want to enjoy it, but they're worried about what's going to happen. So, yeah. It should be a joyous time.
You know, when I said a 5 of Pentacles with the Devil card, I don't really want to dwell on it, but it doesn't really look like it's going to be a happy time. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to do this to you, Chrissy, but I just got a notice from my neighbor downstairs that I'm too loud. So, yeah. So I'm going to have to take a little break. Can you guys hold on just one moment? You can continue. I'm just going to take my computer to the living room.
Oh, okay. You're going to move from where you are. So you're above somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
He can hear me. I'll just be right back. I apologize.
No, don't apologize. I'll carry on and yeah.
Thank you. You're still on.
In a few minutes.
I'm still here.
That's all right. Hello, everyone. It's lovely to see that, because the beauty of collaborating with somebody else is I get to see names I haven't seen before. Cheryl Simpson, Carl Rice, hello. There's other names there that I haven't seen before. So Sin McCann. Yeah. Hi, Cecile. Of course, Melinda, Sharon, everyone else who normally joins me. Ron, Unconditional Love Tarot. You know, hello, Cynthia. Ubiari. Hi, Linda B. How are you? GMR5. Hi. Yeah, it's so nice to see. It introduces new names to me, and I hope if you haven't seen me that, you know, hello, if it's the first time you've seen me. The toilet lid thing. So it's nice to see new names, and it's lovely, of course, to see a lot of familiar names, and hello to all the familiar names. You know who you are and stuff. And yeah,
I'm still there. I'm getting ready. I'm so sorry for that.
Yeah. Oh, right, you saw the Death, the Wheel and the Tower. What was that for? The 4th of July? Changes occurring, like disruption? Changes that were always going to happen and disrupt or something? That's my reading on those 3 cards. But of course, they're not cards I dealt. So thank you very much, Carl Rice.
I'm almost ready. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Cheryl, Nasty Women she's in British Columbia. Hello, she's back.
I am. It's a different lighting. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you fine. No problem.
Good.
Thank you, Michelle Mabel.
So I'm going to be on my laptop. I thought I had resolved that issue, but I guess I haven't beaten him up a little enough to. Sorry. Our walls are made of paper. So
yeah. It's nice to see some Canadian. There's a few Australian readers, but yeah, I guess.
I want to ask you about that, Chrissy.
Yeah.
What is in the water in Australia?
What do you mean?
Australian readers are just amazing.
I don't know.
Is this something? Is tarot part of the culture? Is it very much part of the culture?
Australia, just physically, geographically, is basically one of the oldest landscapes on Earth.
Yeah.
And it is one of the places where it has been inhabited by people, our First Nations, Aboriginal Torres Strait Islanders and all that for 50, 60,000 years. There's this long relationship between people and the land. There's also, to me, I've been in places, I've been lucky enough to be taken to a couple of very sacred places where I do feel that it's touched me very deeply. But that was years and years ago, long before I picked up the cards and everything. But I do feel like it's the landscape itself resonates with knowledge and spirituality, the human spirituality that's 60,000 years old, and generation after generation souls coming and going, and that gets embedded, I think, in the places we are in the country all over. I used to work on cattle stations. I worked in a pub in the middle of the Northern Territory for a while, and these places are so steeped in vibrations that I don't think anyone can ever really hope to understand. And that's personally for me. I do feel that there's I just think that it's just something we inherit when we're born here. But it's part of being born in Australia, or moving to Australia and living in Australia long term. You don't have to be born here to get it, obviously. But to me, I do feel like I've had the opportunity to go to some of these places that are just extraordinarily beautiful and but just spiritual, just without even being a special, what is regarded as a sacred site. I was taken to, the one I was taken to had just recently been discovered. It was still in the oral history, but nobody of the people of that area, but they'd lost the history of telling where it was, and it was found by mining surveyors. And I was fortunate enough to be taken there to it, and it just really changed me on a really deep level. And I can understand why they're so important to people, to the people associated with those areas. So for me personally, it's having travelled across the vast. I've worked in the Kimberleys, which is the north of Western Australia. I've worked in Central Australia, Northern Territory. I've worked in Central Queensland, in Southwest Queensland, and it just
it seems like an amazing country, and you just have to look at the animals that are there. They're different than anywhere else in the world.
No, I think that's the geographical isolation. I mean, you've got some areas like the Galapagos Islands, they've got some unusual animals. That is purely the geographical isolation leading to the evolution of animals in a different way.
Yeah.
Here you've got because I am a geographer. Physical geography is what I did my major in my undergrad.
Okay.
And again, that ties me to the land, the process of creating this landscape too. And my master's degree is geospatial science and stuff like that. I don't know about a lot of readers, but what I like about Lena Rodriguez and Marianne from Revealing Like Tarot, they both have an analytical side, and I've got this analytical side too. And it's like when that sort of catches onto something, at least for me, when my analytical side catches onto something and it drives me further and further.
Yeah.
Exploring it. But it's not it's like it can help you for me, it can help me understand some of the context that I might not otherwise be able to understand.
Right.
I think what makes Marianne, who was a journalist, and of course Lena, who was a PhD in sociology and taught sociology, is that we have things that can provide us context. But every reader has stuff that provides them with context. So it's, I think being able to tap into that contextualizing of things too helps.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's other readers here who are pretty good too. Dave from Moonriders, great. I don't get to watch him nearly enough. And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Every time I look, it's really I watch you guys, it's really amazing. I'm like, oh, how'd they do that? So you guys are really, really good. So
Yeah.
somebody's asking if Trump will be eligible to run in 2026.
Well,
Will he be alive then?
I
I'm sorry, but
I don't think he'll be around by then. Well, say there's not going to be a presidential election in 2026. There'll be the midterms, of course, but I don't think he'll be around. If he is around, he's not going to be in any state to run.
yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah, I just don't think he'll be able to run, even if he's still around.
How are we going to? Okay, a lot of people are saying that there's going to be arrests in July.
Mm.
Some are thinking Matt Gaetz, some are thinking the Trumps. They are going to lay charges against the Trump Corporation or company this week. But is any of that going to stick?
I just did Matt Gaetz, and I got the 7 of Pentacles, which is a card of assessment, but it's also a card of consequences. And then I've got the 8 of Wands, which are things, communications coming very quickly at him. And then I've got the Lovers, which is things that he's done with others, agreements that he's been in with others. We've got the 6 of Cups, which is past actions coming back to influence or haunt. 10 of Cups, the Republican Party. That's always been mostly the Republican Party for me because of the rainbow facade. And the 5 of Coins, out in the cold. Now, I did ask, is he going to be charged sometime in the next few weeks? I do think he is, yes. And I'll tell you what, the Republican Party is not going to put up any money for his defence.
No.
So much is going to come out about him and what he's done. The burden, they're going to see him as a burden. And we've got the King of Cups here, which is not Biden. Generally it's Biden, but it's emotional stability. It's interesting because it's not something that I've been drawn to very often, but on either side of the king in this card, we've got a whale on one side and a ship in the other. It's like this whole thing is Matt Gaetz' white whale. He's Moby Dick, something he's pursued and pursued, even though he knew it would end in disaster. He couldn't help himself. There's going to be so much more coming out about him and some of the things that he's done. Real exposure. So yeah, I do feel he's going to get charged in the next few weeks.
I think that Matt Gaetz is someone that was considered, that has considered himself above the law for his whole life.
Yeah, he has, yeah. My daddy's a congressman. You can't do anything to me. So yeah. I can do whatever I like. And Daddy covered up, I think, quite a bit, as much as he could, but Daddy's not on his side in this. And I've always, when reading on this particular thing, I've always felt that his father has stepped back and saying, I am not going to help you here. This is too much. You've destroyed the family with this. A drink driving charge is one thing, but this, So I think that if you do see his father, it's going to be for the sake of appearances for the family, but there's not going to be any real contact. I think his father's going to cut him off, just emotionally, personally. He'll do what he can for appearances.
I thought for a while though that his father might have been involved in this as well at another level, but I think you're right. His father is going to cut him off.
Wouldn't surprise me if maybe the identity theft thing he might have known about and all that, but the sex trafficking thing is, you know, yeah. That's not to say that he wouldn't have, you know, maybe used the services of somebody else, but he would never, you know.
Well, I see that he's the first card I drew was a tower, so it's coming soon to a theater near you. And with this wand, sorry, not this one, this sword, I was attracted by the birds.
Chatter?
The birds were flying away from him. That's what attracted me to the tower. So I see that he's going to be in trouble and that everybody's going to leave him. I got the sword, the King of Sword in the past, and the Queen of Sword at the top. So it's in his mind. I think that with the Star card as it pertains to the tower, he's wishing that he always thought that he would never get caught, and now he realizes that he is, and he's wishing it would go away. He's probably going to try to make a deal, but I think the deal that was made with the other guy is what is getting him into even more trouble. So, yeah. So, it's happening soon. But,
Ron Goldman. Sorry?
Who?
Ron Goldman, or Goldberg, whatever his name is, Goldberg, sorry, sent out lots and lots of warning flags to him. If you don't help me with this, if you don't help me with this, and he ignored it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Whitby!
Does anyone have any questions for us? Didn't they say Trump was not being charged as the organization? Yes, they did for now. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but Trump is going to be charged at any time. I don't know. What happened when an organization is charged?
Well, they from my understanding, is they will go through and certain officers who knew who was behind it. Weisselberg, of course, is looking to be charged. So they'll go after the officers and not the organisation. They could do a blanket thing on the organisation, but it's normally they go for the principals, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a lawyer.
They dismantled the organization. They
very few principles with regard to Trump org. Is that, you know, Trump will throw everyone under the bus until they finally get to him. So who's next? So Weisselberg's been charged. Will Eric Trump get charged? I do feel Eric Trump's going to be sacrificed. I do feel he'll actually probably get off quite lightly. Yeah, a bit of chaos. There will be changes in his future, but also I see this as like suspended sentence. So, because he really wasn't put in charge of anything really until his father became president. So, and a lot of what they're looking at was even before that. So,
Hi, Whitby.
Yeah.
Hi, all. Oh, sweet Whitby. Love him.
He's sitting on a blade of grass at the moment. So, just outside between the gap in the blinds there.
Hi, Laura.
Hello,
And
Catherine.
you know what? I had a funny story. I have a funny story. When I first discovered Jean Mail is a psychic that I discovered. Oh man, my bird is in the bedroom. I need to go get him. Um, he was. This is a never-ending story. Eric Trump had no real responsibilities, but I had a feeling at the time that I'm taking you on a ride, guys. Sorry.
Mm.
At the time that he was going to be waiting, he's bidding his time to get his. Where is the bird? No, he's not there. Sorry. That he was bidding his time, waiting for everybody else to get cut up, to get caught, so that there you go. Come on. So that he. Well, then stop playing. Sorry about that.
All right.
He basically he was waiting for his father, his brother, and his sister to get caught, so that he would
Mm.
end up with everything. But there's going to be nothing left. Anyway,
No.
that was a weird story, and that's what my feeling was about 3 years ago. Um,
I think they're going to realise that Eric Trump really was put in there as a patsy, and they're going to, because of when a lot of this stuff happened, his involvement was really marginal. So I do feel he'll end up with a suspended sentence. I think he's going to get off the lightest of all the Trumps. The family is going to go down. It's going to be resolution. They're going to cut through all the abuse of power, the gaslighting and the confusing, which was part of putting Eric in charge too. He knows he was a patsy, and I think he's sort of been, he's not as stupid as everyone thinks he is or seems to
no, he's
believe.
not.
There's going to be resolution for him. There's going to be resolution for him, and with the rest of the family. I do feel he'll probably talk. But yeah, I do, he's not going to get off scot-free, but I do not see him in jail. I see him suspended sentence and stuff like that. And you know what? After a few years, I just see him probably going to California or that winery there and settling in there and just, not wanting to know about the rest of his family and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think he's a lot deeper and more thoughtful. So, yeah, but I do think he'll probably get a suspended sentence. Laura Carson asked, did Ivanka lie about the inauguration money in 2016? And we've got a question about DeJoy.
Oh, thank you.
Will the Trump kids restore their family name? No, that family name is going to be, they'll never be able to restore it because of who they are.
Some of them might even change their names.
Other members of the Trump family, I don't see why Mary and her brother and other members of the family should have to change their name. They'll bring about some change. No. Eric's just going to try and forget that he was a Trump or whatever. He could change his name, but I don't see why he should have to.
He's too recognizable anyway, so he wouldn't be able to.
Yeah. Changing his name wouldn't do him any. He'll just try and just keep in the background, I think, eventually. But he's got a few years to get there yet. I used to feel some sympathy, and then I saw him with the dead animals, and it's like, no.
Yeah, I know.
Ivanka.
This is a King of Cups. It's not the Queen of Cups. It's the King of Cups. But she does have a strong masculine side. I find that her energy, in the sense that she's a strong woman, she has a strong energy, and she did make a deal.
Mm.
She did make a deal. So at first she may have lied. She tried to jump off the cliff and try everything else, but she ended up making a deal, I think. Yeah, she tried to lie at first. But now she's um, she's waiting for her fate to like for what's going to happen next for her. Is she going to be charged or not? But she's confident, I think, somehow in her in the deal that she made, because she's with the four swords. She's not overthinking that part. I think there are other worries that she has, but she did, and she's going to come out on top. But she did steal. They did steal money. They did overcharge. That they certainly did. But I think that she's going to come out of that one on top. I don't know about the other things, but this one she's going to come out on top because she made a deal.
Yeah, I got something like that too. Is that the first thing, the past is like she really, really tried to cover up the truth about everything.
Yeah.
In the present, it's like there's just too much there. She can't. This is abundance, a card of abundance in this case, and it's basically the abundance of evidence against her. Hidden influences at work. About losses. This is the losses of the money. She knows where it went. She knows how it was distributed. Obstacles to overcome is basically she still feels some loyalty towards her father, the greedy merchant, and that she's got to overcome that. Attitudes of other people. Well, basically, this is again the burden of evidence. There's just so much evidence against her that honestly they just want her thrown in jail and forgotten. So not a lot of sympathy either. She's really feeling the burden of not a lot of sympathy, and she's got to do all the work. And that so she's feeling that burden of people's attitudes. What she should do, enact her strategies that she put in place a long time ago, which is telling all flipping, saying what she can. And the outcome there will be an offer that might, then she could get a suspended sentence. She might even be under house arrest for a while as well, home detention, house arrest. But
that's going to be tough.
I can't see anything behind bars for her. But this is just with regard to the inauguration fund.
Yeah.
So this we're talking about here is the inauguration fund. So, yeah, she is in trouble with that. But you know what? I think they might want her for other things.
Oh, yeah.
And they know that she's caught up in all the Trump business and stuff like that.
But house arrest for her would be very difficult. I mean, she wouldn't be able to go to to the clubs. You know, those
I think
social clubs, and
I think if you're put in home detention, it shouldn't be in your own home. I think what they should do is have a series of houses around the US in small rural towns where you're stuck there and there's no clubs, there's no socializing, your family can't come and visit you, or your family might be able to come and visit you, but friends can't. It'd be hard for them to visit you. And you basically, you can get out and you can walk around a yard or something, but honestly, there's no luxuries or anything, just the basics. That's what it should be.
Yeah. I asked the question what else they can get Ivanka on, and on lying, because I got it's about work, about the job that she had prior to being at the White House, and it's going to come fast.
I don't know what she did. Did she do anything apart from being a professional professional socialite?
I have no idea.
Ah.
But she knows, she's smart. She knows a lot. She's of the three, she's the smartest, I think. I'm unused to this cam. I see her and her two brothers working together, and this is the night that goes nowhere fast. And in this case, I usually talk about how hard at work they are, and how they're essential to the economy and things like that. But in this case, this is the night that goes nowhere fast. She's not going to go anywhere because she's gonna give up her brothers, but her brothers will give her up too. There's too much talk about them.
Oh, yeah, there's not going to be any family loyalty amongst the siblings.
Yeah.
What
There's a
else?
lot of delusions, and at the end, the outcome of the reading is the sword of truth. They're going to get her because she will have lied, and the truth will come out.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I got. When you said lying, I got the eight of cups, which is often can also be interpreted as someone bearing witness, followed by the three of swords, false witness, betraying
Ooh.
in order to bring about a more tempered, a more balanced outcome. All right, so that's the first three cards. Then I've got consequences of this will come about in judgment and the rule of law. And they're high impact cards too. So lying to bring about a better outcome. So what's on the last line? Confinement, retreat into the background.
Yeah. I had those last two cards too.
The orator talking of
Yeah.
action. I think this could be her writing a tell-all book, actually.
Yeah.
Well, she's definitely, at least on other things that they're going to go after her, she could be facing jail time on other things.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So and then Don, he's not as smart as he likes to appear. I think he's not. I think of the two, Eric is smarter than Don. He just doesn't want to, Don is going to walk away from the world.
The frustrating thing about Donald Trump Jr. is he had this opportunity. Apparently, he wanted to join the Navy. And he was told by his father and grandfather, if you join the Navy, if you join military service, we're going to disinherit you. At that point, he could have said, well, then do what you have to do, walked away and served in the Navy. And I think he would have been a very different and better person. But he didn't. He chose the lazy way to keep, and because of the type of person he was, he ignored that opportunity to change. Everyone has an opportunity, a crossroad moment, which can lead to their life. And he ignored his, which leads to what the rest of your life can play out. And he ignored his. I do feel he would have been not necessarily a perfect person.
No.
But he would have been a
better one.
A different perspective and a better one. And he might have even ended up in with his cousin, with Mary. And I do feel Eric sort of had that too, but not to as big an extent. They all did. They all did have that opportunity. And they chose to ignore it to varying different things. I think Eric shares a lot of characteristics with his late uncle Fred, and I think maybe that was seen and that was sort of pummeled out of him in a way.
Yes, it was. Yeah,
Fred was a person, and he had his demons and all that. But Donald and Fred's father, they saw him as weak and all that, and they didn't want to see that, so they tried to.
They beat him out. They beat it out of him.
Well, possibly not.
It's an expression. I don't think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
You
see here that
weak like your uncle. You're weak like your uncle. You're weak like your uncle, and that sort of thing.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and in a way, it is psychological violence,
Yeah.
and it does have an impact on people. Yeah, I
Well,
think
yeah.
also that Don has um, stolen from the family. Something
No.
tells me he stole from his own family. I think so. Hold on one sec. Yeah, family money, the strength.
He knows his father would steal from him in a heartbeat, so why not give
Yeah,
him
yeah.
John Jr. John Jr.
Did I say Eric? I meant Don. Don stole from his family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don Jr. is facing prosecution
Yes, he is.
and a very anxious time. And some of his worst nightmares possibly coming to true. He's not going to be able to persevere. This actually came out reversed, but he's not going to be able to persevere and succeed in this struggle. Again, the burdens are just too strong, burden of proof. Deals that he made are going to be coming out. He might even make a deal to flip on people with the prosecutor, because that's on top of the prosecutor card. On top of the anxiety card, there is the strength card, but I get the feeling like this should be reversed, which is self-sabotage and weakness and undermining.
Yeah.
Conflict on top of the burden of conflict. He's not really strong enough to do everything he can to fight it if he's left on his own. And I do feel like he'll try and divert and do everything to take people's attention away from it. But on top of the prosecution and the lovers card, there's planning and strategy and dominion. He's going to tell. He's going to tell on his dad. Hey, oh,
He's losing all three cards. Yeah.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He is in for catastrophic change in his life. The
Yeah, he's
undermining
walking away from the world. Yeah.
card, the undermining, that self-sabotage, that's leading to the tower collapsing.
Yeah.
Yep, got the devil to pay. Yeah, so he's definitely in a lot of trouble. Of all three of those younger Trump generation, he's the one in the worst trouble.
Yes. He wasn't quick enough in making the deal. But, there was a time when we saw both Mueller and Eric at an airport. They were practically 3-4 meters away from one another. He might have made some deals, but he's still walking away from the world for a very, very long time.
Yeah. Carl Rice was Trump's youngest son, who I assume is Barron. I don't know where you stand on that. I don't do readings on Barron because he's under 18. So,
No, I don't treat kids either.
Yeah. He hits 18 and he sticks his nose out in the world and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, then I'll do reading. But until they turn 18, I feel like they deserve every chance they can to.
I was going to say something, yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I do. General feeling is he's got a tough few years to get through, and that's going to shape him. But as to what, don't know. That's all I'm willing to say. And yeah.
And he's taller than his father, Carl. And Trump measures about 6'3", 6'2", but
Yeah,
he's 6'3".
6'1".
6'1"? Oh, he shrunk. He shrunk still. So yeah, he's taller than his father, but that's all I know.
His father. Yeah.
Someone was saying Wisenberg and the Trump kids steal from Trump. I don't know. Well, we know about the Trump kids. Don does. They probably all do. Wisenberg, did he steal from Trump? Oh, that's we'll read on that, Michelle, after
What's it?
about Beto getting into the race for governor.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Okay. Weisselberg. I've got a couple of reversals are coming out again. I have to go through that deck and flip the reversal. They accidentally got in there, but you know, I have got definitely going to be judgment on this. That Weisselberg's going to try and steer his way through. Loyalty, fidelity. No, I don't think he stole per se, but he definitely made sure he got as much out of Trump as possible. Gentle blackmail. I know where all the bodies are buried, so you better look after me so I don't have to nick things. So Ace of Swords. There's definitely going to be some effort to cloud the issue there, and what he did not know. He really, what he got out of it was a position of autonomy within the country, within the company. So he he had access to everything, and therefore that's how he got the information, even stuff that you wouldn't want to come out about Fred Senior, about Trump's father. Support me in the way I want to be supported, or I can bring things down on top of you. But now all this is going to just, Trump's not this successful merchant anyone never was, and all that's going to be turned on its head. So he's going to end up paying regardless. He didn't steal per se, but he was definitely not shy of saying, give me what I want. So he didn't have to steal.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to sign off a nice big paycheck for me, and you're not going to say anything. I'm giving myself a bonus. You're not going to say anything. That sort of stuff.
That's right. Yeah.
All the things benefits. Yeah.
He knows a lot of stuff, and he's going to have to face up and fess up. He's going to try everything to protect himself and to defend himself, but it's not going to work because he's still going to have to face the judge and decide which way to go. Is he going to go this way or that way? He's going to bear, I hear false witness, and it's a night of cup. It's the false night. It's a cup, but I feel false witness somehow. He's going to be out in the cold in spite of all his wishes. Fate is going to meet. He's going to meet his fate. He's going to have to face the judge, and he's going to. So I feel that he does have some things to. He does have some things to face.
Yeah. If he bears false witness, if he lies in the witness box, perjury, will be in deep, because that's going to be prison. Michelle Mabel, what do you see in Texas governor election? Will Beto get into the race? Okay, let's have a look. Beto run for governor of Texas. Hey, sweetie.
Hi, baby. How's it going?
Yeah, it's good. I'm on Sophie's channel. Sophie is Bright Opal Tarot.
You want more caffeine or no?
Oh, you are such a sweetheart. No, I could do with another coffee, but maybe a smaller cup
You'll
this
be
time.
flying otherwise. Regular size, hey? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Beto. Seven of Wands in the bottom. Went to pull it off the bottom. Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Cups. Is that Seven of Wands? Oh, Six of Wands off the bottom. Got 3 sevens. That's interesting. Let's have a look at that. I have my little notebook with what's in it.
Okay. I have the Queen of Wands in the Chariot, crossed by the Chariot. So he's there's thoughts behind it. But he still needs to, I don't think he's made the decision yet.
Yeah.
Once he makes it, he's going to go for it though. What's in his head, what he keeps thinking about is the loss that he's had to face already a couple of times. And that did hurt him. But I don't know. Is he a Taurus? Is he a fire? Sorry, not a Taurus, a fire sign?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I see fire, a lot of fire in it. In the past, his heart was broken, which make him wonder, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? Also, under the Five of Cups, I had the Death card. And he's going through a transition right now. And but there are possibilities that he might do it. There's a heavy weight on his shoulder. I don't know. I don't get a straight answer. The outcome is the Nine of Cups, but I don't see a straight answer. I'm all over the place with this one.
Yeah. There's a lot of emotional things I got there. I'll just have a look at what he's just before Libra, but
so he's a Virgo.
Virgo. September.
No,
20. He's a Libra. He's a Libra.
He's a Libra. Yeah, he doesn't know how to make decisions. Poor guy. I'm sorry, I'm a Libra, so I know.
I'm married to a Libra. I know what that means. And they often overthink things and tie themselves up in knots when they don't necessarily have to. Yeah. He's still finding it hard. I've got the Seven of Cups, so he's still finding it hard to whether he should or shouldn't. The Queen of Cups is some emotional stability. There's someone there who is helping him provide some more emotional stability, which is really important to Librans.
Yes.
And he's finding strength from this person. In the on the next row, we've got the Magician, and that is on top of the Seven of Cups. If he can clear his thoughts, he'll be able to manifest exactly what he wants to do and where he's going to go. Next to that, and on top of the Queen of Cups, is the Seven of Wands. And I do feel that the Queen of Cups is counsel. He's got very good counsel that can help him determine the boundaries he wants to work with and within and stuff like that. Wheel of Fortune. There is a change coming and he can't stop it. He cannot stop it. It's sort of like fated in his future to be involved in some way or another. And we got the Seven of Pentacles, which is assessment. And it can also be realizing the need to move in a different direction. Then we have the Queen of Wands, intuition, but also it can be Congress. I think until recently, he's still been caught up in the idea of maybe getting back into federal Congress. And then we've got the Eight of Cups, walking away, going in a different direction. Now, overall, I still think he's a good chance, but he hasn't made the decision yet. But if he does decide to do it, he's got 3 sevens here, which is good fortune.
Yes.
If he does decide to do it, he has a very, very good chance of winning. And I do feel like that he'll bring a lot of the State House and Senate. There'll be change there that the Democrats might win one of the House, of either the House or the Senate. if not both, but at least one. And yeah, so, and he'll be able to set boundaries and clarify things, clarification.
Yeah.
So still has not made up his mind yet.
Yeah.
In fact, I just think until he comes out and says it, we can't predict if he will or won't. He'll say, yes, I'm doing it. And until he does that, we're not really going to be able to pick up. He's just like that.
Yeah.
Constantly tossing it back and forth, the pros and the cons. And because he's constantly doing that until he makes up his mind and sets that course of action, we won't get a definitive yes or no if he'll run. But if he does run, he's in for a pretty good time of it, I think.
Yeah, but I think also the Supreme Court will need to rule on all those laws set by the Republicans.
Yeah. Thank
So,
you, Ted.
yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know about you, but I'm about getting burned a little bit. Shall we do one last question?
Well, we can do one last question. He wants to run against. Yeah, I think he's tossing up whether to run against Cruz again. But Cruz doesn't come up for re-election till 2026. So what?
Yeah.
So there's no real point there to save his energy for that. I think he'd be a great governor, and I think he would bring about real effective change, not just within the state of Texas, but where Texas goes, others will follow, I think.
Yeah. If he wants to become president, he needs to be governor first to show what he got.
I haven't thought about him becoming president. I've mixed these cards up. I don't think that'd be right. I haven't thought about him running for president in the future. Again, I think something is until he makes his mind up to throw his hat in the ring.
We can't tell. Yeah. So there's Trump and Abbott that are going to be meeting at the border, I believe. Someone mentioned. I think it's Gina.
Oh yeah, Trump going to the border. Is it going to be a typical circus act? Yes, absolutely.
That's going to be fun.
Very little. It's just cotton candy and funnel cake.
Yeah.
It feels good at the time to indulge at the time, but later on you just end up with a stomach ache.
Yeah.
Not that I've ever had funnel cake, but I am aware of what it is, because funnel cake's not a thing here in Australia, but we have waffle cones, I suppose. That would be very similar. And cotton candy, of course, we have that. Fairy floss, we call it. Yeah, so fairy floss and waffle cones for the Australians.
Maple syrup here. Too much of that can give you a stomach ache. Yeah.
No, maple syrup is beautiful. Unfortunately, being a diabetic, it's not something I can really have anymore.
Yeah. But it is. It's good in your coffee. Very good. Okay, but
Mike Pence. So that's the question I was trying to remember.
Oh,
what is Mike Pence's outlook after working for Trump?
Oh yes,
he's saying one thing, but I do think he really feels enough. He's just saying enough to keep on the good side of the diehard Republicans and the Trumpicans. But really, you want the truth? Let's find out.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
About what Mike Pence really feels.
Okay, Mike Pence.
I think he feels like he might have a run at the presidency himself in future, so he wants to keep on the right side of some people. But let's have a look. The star, hope. The Five of Swords, the cautionary card. he's being very cautious because in order to get into the vice president's position, he did what a lot of people wouldn't do, King of Pentacles, and he teamed up with a corrupt man. So he's hoping that this abuse of the position that Trump did is not going to wash off on him, but he let it happen. It was so interesting after 6th of January when Trump just disappeared and somebody had to run the country, and Pence stepped up to run the country. And he showed, again, it's frustrating because he showed what a leader he could be. But I don't think anyone's ever going to be able to, he's going to be stuck with that tinge of Trump.
Yeah.
And I've got the three of Pentacles. So he is talking with people. What do they call it? Exploratory committees.
Yeah.
Knight of Pentacles, taking it slowly. He's got some legal things he wants to work through, and until then he's staying in the background. Is everything okay, Bob?
I think Jimmy will need some food. Where's her?
Water?
No, I'll just go over some fresh water.
Oh, thank you,
Just
sweetheart.
a kind of a, it's like a,
I got that he is under the illusion that he might be able to do it, but he's gonna have to face the truth about this. Right on top of one of another, I got the 6 of Sword and the 8.
Walking away.
He's gonna need to walk away. He's trying to make deals right now, looking at his past and trying to use the reputation he had prior to becoming VP. But it's not to be. I mean, he's his fate was sealed when he got with Trump, and
Yeah, and
it's not going to work.
he's in the background here. He's going to be. I've got on top of the hope card. He's hopes for the future, and he's talking to people. But I think he's going to get the sense that no, he's always going to be pushed out. The fact is that there are still some investigations that have to happen into what happened. He's a material witness there. Deals. They made a deal with him when they put him in there. His job was to keep Trump under control, but he couldn't do it. Nobody could.
No.
So he painted himself into a corner by taking on a job that he could not do. Trump was just too much, too fast. And so I don't think he's going to ever run for office again.
Yeah, he got some regrets about having taken that offer. He's got actually a lot of regrets about that.
I think his thought process was that I'll be the vice president, and you know what? Within 6 months, they're going to find him unfit, or he'll do something and he'll get impeached, and then I'll take over. That didn't happen. He kept on dodging it all, and he kept putting on in the judges that people wanted. So you know what? I think that he made a deal with McConnell and Co. And they did the dirty on him because they had no intention of getting rid of Trump. Yeah. But when he had to step up and run the country, he did a pretty good interim job. I mean, there was very little he could do, but he kept things going. He visited the National Guard troops and the people, and he represented his party at the inauguration and things like that. So he showed he could do the job, but he's never going to be in a position to be able to do it again.
No, never.
And that's
He's
really
deluding himself if he thinks that. And as for the Abbott-Trump meeting at the border, there's not going to be much. They're just going to look at the border. They're going to basically throw flowers at each other. I know this is a wish card, but that's wishful thinking. That's basically what they're going to do. They're just going to throw flowers at each other, congratulate Abbott, and continuing the legacy that Trump left behind.
Mm.
And that's basically it.
Yeah, people can't be bothered. They're just like got other things to get on with, and it's just like a slow trot towards the end. Investigations are taking over things, and it's like they think they're building it up for some reason too. I think maybe they want to try and divert attention away from it by, from something else. That's why they go back to it. They're trying to divert attention away from something else, and yeah.
And it's not going to necessarily work. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. How's it going? What? Who? Where? What was that?
Yeah. Oh, so.
Up, are you?
Well, I want to thank you, Chrissy, for joining me tonight. Thank you very much. It was very last minute. And everyone, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to go and visit Chrissy on Footprint Tarot.
Absolutely.
On her channel. It's a wonderful channel. She does wonderful live stream. She's a pro. She's the real deal.
Thank you.
Real deal. Very nice.
I do appreciate that. And what I'm going to do now is hop on. I'm such a pro. I'm going to hop on my private channel here, and I'm going to click like. I've already subscribed. And I'm going to hop on my own Footprint channel, and I'm going to hit like.
Yeah, exactly. I think we all do it. Are you going to go do another live now?
Sorry. Not sure. No, I think I might leave it for today. Got stuff. I will be back on Thursday for my normal time. I might pop in and do something tomorrow with Lenormand and stuff like that if you guys want me to. But it's been lovely. Thank you again for inviting me.
Thank you for coming.
And for all the lovely compliments too and stuff, and enjoying the laughter. Laughter is so important. It is. Laughter is the savior of light.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And I'm very sorry about the interruptions. They weren't planned. That's why we call them interruptions.
How many times have you watched me and I've gone off screen for a few minutes, or like the cat tail catching fire. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. So
I bought a channel once and it was called Embrace the Chaos, and that is basically the motto of my channel. If you're going to click on my channel, you're gonna have to be ready to embrace chaos, because God knows what'll happen while I'm doing a live.
Exactly. It's we can't control what we can't control. So yeah.
Yeah, get ready to embrace chaos. Okay.
So thank you very much, everyone, and watch Footprint. I'll see you on your channel.
Yes, definitely. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.